Hey everybody, welcome to an action figure unboxing and review. Today I've got the final wave of the Indiana Jones Adventure Series 6-inch figures. Apparently this is the last wave they're going to do. They're not going to give us any more figures. I don't know if that was the plan originally or they just didn't sell enough of the first couple waves to justify having any more waves after this. But whatever the reason, we ended up missing out on quite a few characters. Like from Raiders, we never got the German mechanic from the famous fight sequence in front of the airplane, or Colonel Dietrich. Temple of Doom, we didn't get Mola Ram, the main antagonist. And here, The Last Crusade. This is the Last Crusade wave. We didn't get Vogel, one of the antagonists of that film as well. So we missed out on a few characters, unfortunately. It's also unfortunate that they chose to inject the Dial of Destiny characters in with the Temple of Doom and Last Crusade waves. They could have taken them out and put them in their own wave. Maybe even given us a Kingdom of the Crystal Skull wave. I mean, I know a lot of people didn't like that movie, but I have a feeling that, like the Star Wars prequels, people are going to start appreciating that one more as a result of how dismal the Dial of Destiny was. But this is the way we've got 6 figures. As you can see, the boxes lined up in front of the camera here. We've got the Indiana Jones from The Last Crusade, as well as his father, Henry Jones Sr. Then we have Dr. Elsa Schneider and the Grail Knight. And that's it. That's all we get from Last Crusade. The last 2 characters are from Dial of Destiny. The main villain, Jurgen Voller, and Ronaldo. So, as you can see, the boxes are all pretty similar. They've got the artwork. You got the character, the figure on the front with artwork on the side there. Got the portraits on the side of all the characters. On the other side, you got the list of characters and the build an artifact. The build an artifact for this one is the Holy Grail table. You can see the table there with all the grails on it. I will be reviewing the previous waves as well at some point, but I just got this one recently, so I figured I would start with this one, since I've had Temple of Doom and Raiders for a while now. But they each had their own Build-A-Figure, or Build-A-Artifact. The Raiders one, obviously, was the Lost Ark. The Temple of Doom one was the idol with the Sankara stones. And this one is the Grail table. On the back, you get another picture of the figure, what they come with, and these are just the personal effects of the figure itself. To see which artifact stuff they come with, you got to go to the side here, and it'll show you on the side there, and it also shows you on the bottom here. You got legalese on the bottom of the box. On the top, got nothing at all, blank. And that's where you have it for the boxes. We'll start the reviews with Ronaldo, since he's the character I don't really know much about. This is the Antonio Banderas character from the movie. And he's got a pretty decent Antonio Banderas likeness, I think. Yeah. Not too bad. He's dressed in a simple shirt, pants, a belt, shoes with no socks, and got something on his right ankle there. Looks like one of those brace ankle monitors they put on the criminals. Sure it's not, but yeah. Yeah, he's also got a watch on his left wrist. For articulation, you look down that far. Look up. Exorcist twist. Some tilt. His arms only hinge up about that far, unfortunately. He's got pinless arms, but they're only single jointed. He's also got a tattoo there. No bicep cut. They could have easily put one right under the shirt there, hidden it with the shirt sleeve, but they didn't do that. He doesn't have any wrist manipulation, but its pegs are designed like this. There's a ball joint in the wrist there, instead of a peg on the hand that slides into the socket, so you get more range, I think, and range of motion. They should really do this for like classified. I think that would be preferable to the. It's a little bit looser though than what classified does, so that might be why they're not. That might be why they're not doing it for classified. For torso articulation, it's kind of this shirt here. It's an overlay, so it gets in the way. You can't get a lot of torso movement. He's got some tilt and twist around. These guys don't have drop down hips, so you can kick down this far and kick out about that far. Can't do too much splits there. No thigh cut. He does have a hinge and swivel at the knee. The arm does too, sorry. I didn't mention the swivel, just the hinge. It's pinless but single jointed, and it swivels, of course, like I said. His foot can go back that far, can go forward that far. He's got rocker, peg holes on the bottom. He comes with a couple of accessories. He's got this hat, and he's got a cane. I don't know if the character is actually crippled in the movie or if he's just using the cane to make you think he's crippled when he isn't. Alright, next we've got Dr. Jürgen Voller. This is Mads Mikkelsen's character from the film. He's got a nice suit on, pretty good likeness, better than the Galen Urso, I think, likeness from the Rogue One figure. They're using that technology to do better face prints. This is definitely a good Mads Mikkelsen likeness. And if you don't want to use this character as Jürgen Voller, you could use him as a... Come on, focus. Use him as a Hannibal Lecter, maybe, from the TV show. Or just, random guy in a suit that just happens to look like Mads Mikkelsen. can look down that far, look up. Exorcist. The hat doesn't come off, by the way. Lots of tilt. Lots of tilt. Robo from the Swoosh would be pleased with how much tilt this guy has. The coat is an overlay. As you can see, the arms are black because they're separate. They are sculpted, whereas the coat is an overlay. So if you take the coat off, it's going to look silly. It's going to look like he's wearing a tank top with a pair of sleeves on underneath it. Tie is loose, but it's connected to the neck piece here. You might be able to take that off if you remove the head. There's regular brown shoes and pants on the bottom. So his arms can hinge up like that and go all the way around. Ronaldo's can too. I didn't show that accidentally. Hinge and swivel. Pinless. Same type of wrist articulation as Ronaldo, but the sleeve kind of inhibits it, so you don't get much out of that. His coat is open, so he gets a little bit more. He actually doesn't have a torso articulation at all. It's just one solid piece. There's no articulation there. So the only movement he gets is if you like basically bend the legs forward. Can't go back that far at all. He can kick out that far, kick back that far. He can get better splits than Ronaldo. He's got a thigh cut. Hinge and swivel at the knee. Foot goes back that far, gets back forward, inhibited by the cuffs. Got the rocker, pegs at the bottom. His accessories are his eyeglasses. You can slide those on pretty well. The hat will do a good job of keeping him from falling off. It doesn't look that great, though, to be honest. He also comes with a bag. It's a pretty nice sculpt. It's got some paint there on the clasp and on the hooks for the strap. No other accessories for this guy. No gun, no nothing. Next we have the Grail Knight. This guy we only see at the end of the movie. He's got some nice detail in the chain mail hood he's got on. And of course he's got chainmail gloves and sleeves and leggings and boots, all covered up by this tunic type material here. It's a belt across it. And they did a decent job painting the studs on the belt. That's pretty good. And he's got the symbol on his chest there. He doesn't get a lot of forward or back on the head because of the chainmail. He can do Exorcist. Doesn't have much tilt at all. His arms can hinge up better than the other two. And go all the way around. Pinless hinge and swivel. He's got better articulation in the wrist, similar to Ronaldo. Doesn't have much in the way of forward crunch, but he can crunch back quite a bit. Got some tilt on the waist there. Twist, twist. This piece here is soft and it's slit at the sides, so you can get some leg movement, but it will still inhibit. Go back that far. You can do splits. He's got a thigh cut. I don't know why they didn't give Ronaldo one. Hinge and swivel at the knee. Boot goes back that far, forward that far. He's got rocker, and he's got pins on the bottom. For accessories, he comes with his cloak, which is all molded. Soft plastic, but plastic nonetheless. It's got this nice red clasp with silver paint on the bottom. And it's got a peg there at the bottom. Or in the middle, rather. So you slide it over his head. And then peg it right into his back there. He also has his sword, which is not just decorative. You can pull it out of there. Decent design. Got some paint on the hilt. And I think it's pretty much sculpted out of all gray plastic. So the only paint is on the actual hilt and pommel. And that slides in there. Good scabbard there. Paint on the top and paint on the bottom. And it's got a little peg at the top there. And you can see on his belt there's a hole. You can peg the sword into his side like that. Next we've got Dr. Elsa Schneider. Her likeness is probably the worst of the bunch. I don't think that looks anything like Allison Doody. They might not have been able to get her approval for likeness rights. That would be my guess. So they got as close as they could without making it too obvious. That's my guess anyway. It would have been easier to get Jurgen and Ronaldo and Harrison's, Antonio Banderas, Mads Mikkelsen, and Harrison Ford's likenesses, because they had just done a movie for Disney, so that was probably part of their contract. Is Hasbro approached them to get approval for the likenesses for the figures. Connery, which we'll see, they actually did a pretty good job with him, so I think they literally went after his likeness rights, but they didn't want to go. They didn't figure Allison Doody was worth going after, I guess. This is her figure as she is at the end of the movie, obviously. She has a few outfits during the film, but this is her at the end. White shirt, blouse, with a black undershirt, gloves, black gloves, black high-waisted pants, black boots, a lot of black. Some paint on the belt there, pretty good. She's got a lot. Her neck is really long, so she's got a lot of good movement on her head. That's tilt, lots of tilt. Whoa, Exorcist spins pretty easily. Yeah, she's got all the tilt. All the tilt in the way went to her. Her arms hinge up that far, better than 90. Go all the way around. Hinge and swivel at the elbow again. She doesn't have the same wrist articulation as the others. She actually has the normal hand joint where the peg comes from. The peg is attached to the hand rather than the arm. So she's got the side-to-side hinge there. And she has up-down hinge here. I don't know if Allison Doody was left-handed. I'll have to pay attention to that next time I watch the film. She can crunch forward that far, go back that far. Looks like she's got a ball joint up in the torso there. She can kick out that far, back that far, splits. Hinge and swivel at the knee. No thigh cut on her. Okay, so she doesn't have one either. She does have a boot cut though. Foot goes all the way back. Can go forward that far. Rocker. Pegs. Allison, or Elsa, comes with 2 accessories. First one are these goggles, which can go around her neck. And then she has this separate head, which looks a little better than likeness as far as I'm concerned. Than the head without the hat on it. But then she has that look like she did when she was with the tanks. Next we have Dr. Henry Jones Sr. This is the Sean Connery figure. And collectors of the Indiana Jones line have been waiting for this for a long, long time. And one of the accessories laying on the floor. As you can see, the Sean Connery likeness is pretty good on this one, I think. He's got the bow tie, another suit overlay, with a vest underneath with buttons all painted, which is nice. Pants and shoes, standard suit guy. Not really much to see, to be honest. Head down, up, not too much. Exorcist twist, got some tilt. His arms can hinge up like that far. Hinge and swivel at the arm, at the wrist, at the elbow. There. He's got the normal peg in the wrist. Hands. Because of the vest, you don't get a lot of torso movement. I don't think he's got anything in there at all. You can twist, kick out that far, back that far. Good splits for an old guy. He's got the thigh cut. Hinge and swivel at the knee. Foot goes back that far, forward like that. Rocker. Holes at the bottom. He comes with his hat. He also has a pair of glasses. Gold paint on the side. Yeah, these are harder to fit than. Those are harder to put on than Jurgen's. He also comes with a copy of the Grail Diary. And lastly, he comes with a suitcase with an umbrella, and you can peg the umbrella on the suitcase, as you can see. You can peg it right on top of there like that. And that brings us to Indiana Jones himself, Henry Jones Jr. Harrison Ford likeness, not terrible. His hat is not removable either. He's got his leather jacket, shirt underneath with tie. This can come off, but it's on him in the box, so I just left it there. Gun holster, whip holster, pants, shoes. You can look down like that and look up. Exorcist twists. Some tilt. Arms can only go up that far. That's pretty bad. Goes all the way around there. Hinge and swivel. Normal peg in the wrist. Hole in the hand. Articulation there. Again, not much ab forward, crunch forward, but you can crunch back quite a bit. You could twist. And kick out that far. Back that far. And do splits. He's got a thigh cut. Hinge and swivel at the knee. Foot peg goes back that far, forward that far, and tilt, or rocker. Pegs on the bottom. He comes with the coiled whip that he can attach to his waist peg there. He also comes with this revolver, which he can stick in his holster there. He comes with this uncoiled whip for action poses, although it is still made of it's a soft plastic, but it's still not gonna like hang loose or anything like that. Lastly, he comes with a German MP40 submachine gun, just like they used in WW2, and that he uses in the movies several times, most specifically in the castle. Finally, we have the Build-A-Figure, or the Build-A-Artefact. I decided just to build it ahead of time instead of doing it in front of the camera. But here's the final product here. Let me set it down there. As you can see, it comes with that nice big statue carving in the back. These two discs in the front. A couple of pots of fire. And then all those various grails, including the grail that Elsa gave Donovan that he drank out of and died. And then the true grail in the back here. So this is the largest of the Build an Artefact. The other two were smaller than this, but I do prefer the Ark for various reasons. But there's the quick look and run through of the Indiana Jones Final Wave, Last Crusade. Give me a like, subscribe, comment down below if you're picking up these figures. If you're disappointed they're not doing any more. Whatever you want to talk about, really. And I'll catch you all next time. Bye.